Hello, welcome to the Between Two Worlds channel. I hope you enjoy this video as much as the previous ones. If you are interested in near-death experiences and looking forward to the next episodes, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss them. On April 5th, 2015, this incident occurred. On that day, I said goodbye to my wife and son and then told them I was leaving. I asked my wife, "Do you mind?" She said no. I said, "We didn't have breakfast together." She asked, "Where are you going?" "Are you coming back?" I said, "I wish we could have breakfast together." She replied, "You've changed so much today. Why are you saying these things?" I said, "It's nothing." I kissed my son and bid farewell. I was in class at the university. It had been about 1 to 2 hours since my professor came to me and asked, "Why are you sleeping? Are you tired?" I replied, "No, I'm listening." He insisted, "No, you seem like you're sleepy, tired." I said, "I'm listening. I don't know." About 15 to 20 minutes passed, and I felt intense heat from within. I wasn't feeling well. Prior to this, about 2 to 3 days earlier, I had experienced a hypoglycemic episode, which was resolved after a 5 to 6 hour hospital stay. My colleague was sitting beside me. I told him, "I feel unwell." He asked why. "What's wrong?" I said, "My whole body is trembling from within. I feel heat. I think I'm experiencing another hypoglycemia." Shortly after, I couldn't even maintain my balance. My legs were shaking. I asked my friend, "Can you call an ambulance?" He inquired, "Are you serious?" I replied, "Yes, I'm not feeling well." I told him, "I think I'm having a seizure." I've never had a seizure before, but given the symptoms I was experiencing, I felt like I was having one. My background is in emergency medical services, so I'm familiar with these symptoms. They contacted the ambulance, and I recall my colleagues checking my blood pressure and blood glucose levels. My blood sugar was low. I remember being taken into the ambulance. I got into the ambulance and lay down on the stretcher. I told my friend that if possible, prepare a diazepam, because I wasn't feeling good. He was preparing the diazepam when I told him not to inject it into my vein. Inject it into a muscle so I can stay conscious. After saying this sentence, I don't remember anything else until I came to myself and saw a huge, very wide and big black whirlpool above me. Imagine being in a room, and when you look up at the ceiling, a very large whirlpool is spinning above you. I was exactly in the center of that whirlpool, and it was spinning above me. Initially, it was quite high, then the distance reduced, and it came closer to me. I felt it was pulling me into itself. It was silent. I was scared because it was truly terrifying. I'm still afraid of it. The whirlpool came closer and closer, and I entered a different space. The whirlpool disappeared. I found myself in a green space. I saw that I was much larger than the people there. My proportions hadn't changed. They were smaller than me. I was walking there, being careful not to step on them. After a while, I noticed that I had become smaller, and that place had become much larger for me. It was so big that the people there seemed like giants or monsters to me. When they walked, I would run away because I felt they might step on me. Their faces were also terrifying. While I was running, suddenly I saw myself in another place. The space was white. It was so white and large that I couldn't determine where I was. There was light in that white space, but it wasn't disturbing. I was searching for a way when I heard a voice calling my name from afar. It said, "Don't worry, I'm here." I searched for the voice because I couldn't see anyone. Over time, the voice got closer to me. When I came to myself, I saw that I was lying on a bed. It was like a hospital bed. The voice also approached me. As the voice got near me, I saw the face of the person calling me, and it was my grandmother. My grandmother had passed away. She was beside my bed. I was truly shocked because I knew she was deceased. She came to me and said, "Don't worry, I'm here. Your grandmother is here, and you are not alone." She was saying these things to me when the whirlpool came back to me. I emerged from that place, but the whirlpool was still above my head. Sometimes it would come so close that I would get scared. I heard a voice again saying, "No, don't take him from here. This is ruined. Let's take him from this part." I couldn't see anyone. I tried to focus to see whose voice it was talking about. I was curious about what it was talking about. I didn't know where the next place I was supposed to go to was, so I was afraid. I entered a place where there was a bed. A lady and a gentleman were there, wearing indigo clothing. I was standing beside the bed but couldn't see who was lying on it. The lady was telling the man that the needle had come out of the vein of the person lying on the bed. She asked him to administer an injection into the person's leg vein. I was looking to see who was lying on the bed. I tried hard to see but couldn't. It seemed like someone was preventing me from seeing. One of the two said, "Come, administer glucose to him. He's experiencing another hypoglycemic episode." I entered the white space again. The further I went, the less I saw. It felt like someone was leading me forward. I saw a large number of people kneeling in front of me. They were dressed in identical white attire and were in a line. As I was looking, one person from that assembly came towards me. Just like the first time, someone was calling my name, and this time it was the same person coming toward me. In my imagination, it was as if a little girl was approaching me, calling my name. She came close enough for me to see her, but I couldn't see her face to recognize her identity. She extended her hand towards me. In that moment, I saw myself lying on the bed. It was like a hospital bed. I still didn't know where this bed was located. The girl was reaching out her hand to me. I wanted to grab her hand, but couldn't. I felt she was offering her hand for me to help her or to take me to another place, but I couldn't grasp her hand. The whirlpool approached me again. This time, it was darker and larger than before. Whenever I talk about it, I get scared. I was drawn towards it again and entered a black space. It felt like it had trapped me within itself. Then I entered a green space. It was like a wheat field. At first, I was scared because I didn't know where I was. Everything was green, but the space was very pleasant. It was at this moment that I saw the girl again. She was exactly in the wheat field. She called out to me again and extended her hand towards me. She had a white covering like a veil. I couldn't guess her age. She said to me, "Come." I followed her, but couldn't reach her. We went and arrived at a space with trees. Space was very beautiful and green. My fear diminished. I lost the girl and was searching for her. I reached a river. I said, "God, where is this place? It's so lovely here." It gave me peace and a good feeling. I was willing to go through those terrifying events again just to return here. I was thirsty. Therefore, I drank some water from the river. My thirst was quenched, but it felt like I hadn't drunk any water at all because I didn't feel any wetness. The water was very clear. I could see myself in the water. I emerged from that space. The whirlpool came back to me again. Another voice came, but I couldn't see anyone. My vision improved a bit. I saw two ladies standing in front of me. Their image was clear. I heard a voice saying, "Doctor, come." She opened her eyes. I thought if I closed my eyes, the whirlpool would come back to me. So, I didn't close my eyes. The nurse said, "Close your eyes and rest." I said, "I can't. It bothers me." After a few hours, a doctor came to me and said, "You've been in a coma for about 27 to 28 days now." We were transferred to 2 hospitals. They wanted to donate my organs because they suspected I had suffered brain death. I told my brother about the 2 nurses who injected medication into me through my leg vein and really bothered me. He asked, "How do you know? Weren't you unconscious?" I said, "I saw them injecting into my leg vein myself." He said, "At that time, you were connected to the respiratory machine." I was connected to that machine for 20 days because I couldn't breathe on my own.